AskReddit by Iros favorite T. What is the worst insult you've suffered from someone who didn't even mean it as an insult? You're pregnant. No. Are you sure? Never wore that dress again. Are you sure? What the absolute fuck? I did nude figure modeling for painting classes for extra cash in college about 15 years ago. One of the students was having trouble capturing my likeness and called the teacher over for help. The teacher, well, she has an unremarkable, normal face with no strong features, which is much more difficult to paint. I mean, they're not wrong from a painting point of view, but nothing like quietly dying inside, fully naked with an audience. The teacher was Mr. Darcy. When I was a teen, my dad told me he heard of an athlete who wrote a book about how he used to be bullied when he was young, how he was the school's loser and had no friends. Exactly like you, my dad added. What a way to advertise a book to me. Thanks, Dad. Oh man. Back in high school I had to turn down my best friend when he confessed his feelings to me. He had depression and low self-esteem at the time, and I was supporting him the best I could. After I made it clear that I wanted us to just stay friends, he started crying and said, "If you don't want me, then who will?" I comforted him, and while I knew what he meant was we're vibing so well, I don't think I'll find another girl like you, it still hurt. One of my in-laws walked in when I was the only one in the house and, looking straight at me, said, "Oh, there's no one here," and turned and left. Deleted. I have done this also. I thought I was complimenting a high school boy on his makeup for the haunted house we were working in. Nope, turns out the really large dent in his forehead, I thought it was supposed to look like someone hit him in the head with an axe, is just the way his forehead looks all the time. I wanted a hole to open up in the floor and swallow me. I started getting asked if I qualified for a senior discount in my 40s. During COVID, the local mall had a senior hour in the morning where older people could shop. I was mad because I come to work super early and I could make senior hour, but I'm in my early 40s. I was bitching to my coworker and she goes, "Just go and you'll pass for a senior citizen." Childhood friend from school turned coworker. Yeah, you used to be really smart. I had dropped out of college and we were working as bartenders at a restaurant. We're taking about plans for the coming year or two and I had mentioned trying to get a new job, go back to school. I died a lot. They were trying to be supportive and were immediately horrified and apologized, but yeah. My best friend told me that I am only funny when I'm drunk. I was a recovering alcoholic and man did that hurt. Been there. I got a "I liked you better when you were still drinking" once. Like WTF. Had a guy tell me I looked like a cult leader, which I didn't really take kindly. He also did not respond well when I told him he looked like a cult follower. Perfect response. You look like you own ferrets. I don't even know what that means, but it was 4 years ago, Haley, and I still remember. Are you a skinny pale nerd with greasy hair and clammy hands? Kids are the best for this. Daddy, why don't you use your weights anymore? Is it because you got fat? There was a little girl I used to babysit, but I got a new job and couldn't anymore. I visited her family about a year after and she says to me, "You got bigger." I know that that's probably what she hears all the time from adults who don't see her often, extended family, doctors, etc. But damn, I just burst out laughing when she told me. I said thank you and said she was bigger, too. A good friend's girlfriend told me, "I love how not girly you are and how you don't care about how you look." I think she genuinely meant it as a compliment, but both of those things were news to me. I got "I love how you just wear whatever" from a friend I was into once. Took me like 4 years till I remembered it and went, oh, I was getting roasted. I recently got a very bright, very obnoxious Pac-Man hoodie. It is without a doubt the loudest thing I own. As I was heading out the door for work, My 3-year-old told me, remember dad, if people laugh at you, you can always take your sweatshirt off. The best part is he was genuinely just trying to give me some supportive advice. He just accidentally gave me the best burn I've received in years. Edit. The sweatshirt https://imgur.com/a/80frxt4. I feel this. My kid told me, Mom, you're so pretty. Well, your eyes and your hair. That's all. Thanks, son. My dad was a smoker most of his life. When I was around 4, I didn't want to imagine my dad as an old man, so I told him, keep smoking so you can die young. He didn't die of smoking, I guess. You murdered him right there. One time after a girl dumped me in high school, one of my close teacher friends said, you're the kind of guy a girl wants to meet in her 30s, not now when they want to be crazy. Thanks, Miss H. I'll never forget that one. Edit. Easier to respond here, I guess. Yes, she was 30 something but def not trying to Mrs. Robinson me. Thinking back, it was a nice thing to say, but at 17 it hit pretty hard. We were friends because she led the FFA chapter I was part of, so we spent a lot of time together outside school. Similar happened to me. I was told by male relatives, you're the kind of girl boys want to marry, not have sex with. Thanks, TEO. I had a friend who had another group of friends who were all having babies, and a lot of them had what she called ugly babies. She commented, all of my friends that look good are having ugly babies. I said, well, fuck you too, and her response was, what, your kid is adorable. She then paused to realize there was no backing out of the corner she put herself in. We had a good laugh about it since I had accepted my status as an attractive long before she confirmed it. In middle school, the girl I had a crush on said I looked like a falcon. Never quite figured out how to take that one. Strong aquiline jaw, sharp eyes, and giant fucking talons 4 feet. Working at a new job. How old are you? How old do I look? I don't know, 45? I was 27 at the time. Either really rude or you're just one of those dudes who grows out a beard at 16 and is never carded in their whole life. You aren't even that ugly. Deleted. Come work for me, son. I'll pay you more than you're worth. Proceeds to pay $36k per year. I'll toss in my pays me $2 less than everyone else an hour. Getting on an adult ride at the fair. Operator says to me, Mom, you can't ride this if you are pregnant. I was not pregnant. I was on a film set for a scene about homeless people and someone said my homeless costume was perfect. I was on the crew. I once told my wife your face stops clocks. She was pissed. What I meant to say was that when I look at you, time stops. That's actually kind of a hilarious way for it to come out. I hope she realized after the fact. It's really a sweet sentiment. Was moving on from a job and on my second last day my manager says, take tomorrow off, no one will miss you. He later informed me that he had meant that I should finish a day early and that no one would mind. Lol, that's the kind of phrasing that gives you anxiety 4 years afterwards. My boss pointing at me said to others, he may be fat but he is most hard-working person here. A nicer way to say this would be he is worth his weight in gold. I was doing the finishing touches on my makeup when Mom told us we needed to get going. I turned to my brother and asked him, do my brows look okay? I was of course talking about if the color was even, since we were on our way out and I wanted to know I looked presentable. My brother has autism, so he interpreted my question as a general query of his opinion on my eyebrows. So he went on a 2 or 3 minute roast, telling me everything wrong with my brows. I finally managed to say I meant the color. Is the color even? To which he responded yeah and walked out the door. Internally he's like, finally, she asked. I've been holding on to this for years. I was sitting with my friends in class and I see a guy from the corner of my eye having a discussion with his friend about what kind nerds we are, and I overheard him say, "You don't have to worry about those ones. They're not the Columbine freaks. They're just harmless weirdos." Gee, thanks. I hate the quiet kid shooter stereotype. We just don't want to talk or have anything to say, man. We're not gonna kill you. Chill out. I, 35M, was getting dressed one morning and my daughter came in before I had my shirt on. She's like 4 at the time and says, "Oh, you have boobs like mommy." There was no recovering from that. Edit. Added my gender, sex, whatever the right word is, as there seems to have been some confusion. 5-year-old asked me why I'm so hairy and how does she keep this from happening to her. "'Cause it's gross." My ex, looking at my naked body post sex in the most genuine tone, "You know what you have the perfect boobs for? Surgery." What does that even mean? WTF lol. I live in Asia and I'm about 250 pounds, 6 feet tall, could stand to lose about 30, I guess, maybe more. And I went to McDonald's just to get hot coffee and the woman behind the counter asked if I wanted cream or sugar and I said no thank you. And then she said, "Oh, because you're fat." Sounds like Asia. One time a girl I really disliked, we never had a fight or anything like that, I just really found her to be annoying and dumb, said we were similar in personality. I've heard it said that some of the people we dislike are those most similar to ourselves, because we see in them the things we hate about ourselves. It's certainly not always true, but it does explain why I sometimes want to strangle my sister.